Question number 141. Select the incorrect statement with respect to humans. And the very first statement is, starch and fat reach stomach totally undigested from oral cavity. And as it is an incorrect statement, so this is a correct answer to our question. Because near about 30% of starch gets digested in oral cavity with the help of enzyme salivary amylase. Salivary amylase is an enzyme which is present in the secretion of salivary glands in oral cavity. So starch gets digested in buccal cavity and reaches stomach in partially digested form and not in total undigested form. The next statement is, dentition is heterodont, diaphyodont and thecodont. And as it is a correct statement, this cannot be a correct answer to our question. The next statement is, muscularis externa mainly consists of outer longitudinal and inner circular muscle layer. And as it is also a correct statement, this cannot be a correct answer to our question. As you can see here in this diagrammatic representation of transverse section of gut, this muscularis or muscularis externa consists of outer longitudinal and inner circular muscle layer. The next statement given is, intestinal glands are present mainly in mucosal layer except Brunner's glands. And as it is also a correct statement, this cannot be a correct answer to our question because Brunner's gland is present mainly in submucosal layer. So the correct answer to this question is option number 1. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 142. The hepatopancreatic duct is guarded by a sphincter called, and the options are pyloric sphincter, sphincter of Oddi, sphincter of Boyden, and cardiac sphincter. The correct answer to this question is option number 2, sphincter of Oddi. As you can see here also, sphincter of Oddi which guards the opening of common hepatopancreatic duct. Now let's discuss rest of the options. The very first option is pyloric sphincter, and this is an incorrect option. Pyloric sphincter is present at the pyloric end of stomach which guards the opening of stomach into small intestine. The next option is sphincter of Boyden, and this is an incorrect option. Sphincter of Boyden guards the opening of common bile duct into main pancreatic duct. And the last option is cardiac sphincter, and this is an incorrect option because cardiac sphincter guards the opening of esophagus into stomach. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 143. Select the incorrect match with respect to pulmonary capacities and volumes. And the very first option given is, TB is equivalent to IC minus IRV. And as it is a correct match, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question because inspiratory capacity, which is equivalent to inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume. So this tidal volume would be equal to inspiratory capacity minus inspiratory reserve volume. So this is a correct match and is an incorrect answer. The next option is FRC equals to IRV plus RV. And as it is an incorrect match, so this is a correct answer to our question because FRC, which represents functional residual capacity, and it is defined as the volume of air present in the lungs after normal expiration, this much, and it is equivalent to expiratory reserve volume plus residual volume and not inspiratory reserve volume plus residual volume. The next option given is EC is equivalent to ERV plus TV. And as it is a correct match, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question because expiratory capacity is equivalent to expiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume. As you can see here, this is expiratory capacity, which is equivalent to tidal volume plus expiratory reserve volume. The last option given is VC is equivalent to IRV plus TV plus ERV. And as it is a correct match, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question because VC represents vital capacity, and this vital capacity is equivalent to inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume plus expiratory reserve volume. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 144. The P50 value decreases in all of the following conditions except, and the options are fall in PCO2, increase in PPG level, fall in temperature, and fall in hydrogen ions. And the correct answer to this question is option number 2, increase in BPG level. Because increase in BPG level, as you can see here, this increased BPG level will lead to increase in P50, whereas the other three options, fall in partial pressure of carbon dioxide, fall in temperature, and fall in hydrogen ions, are the incorrect options, because these are the factors which are responsible for shifting this oxygen dissociation curve to the left side and thereby lowering or reducing P50 value. P50 value decreases in all these conditions and the oxygen dissociation curve will shift to the left side. On the other hand, decrease in BPG level will lead to decrease in P50 value. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 145. In following sketch diagram of human heart, main blood vessels and various systems of the body are shown. And in this diagram, X and Y represents what? X represents pulmonary vein, Y represents vena cava, W represents pulmonary artery, and Z represents aorta. And C represents right ventricle, so A would be right auricle, right atria. And if B represents left auricle, then D would be left ventricle. And we can say that if the sketch represents human heart, then deoxygenated blood is pumped from right ventricle to the lungs through pulmonary artery, and left auricle receives oxygenated blood through pulmonary vein. This represents pulmonary circulation, which involves chamber C and B. On the other hand, oxygenated blood is pumped from left ventricle through aorta to the systems of the body, and deoxygenated blood then reaches right auricle or chamber A through vena cava. And this represents systemic circulation, which involves chamber D and A. Also, chamber A and C, that is right auricle and right ventricle, represents pulmonary heart, chamber A and C, whereas systemic heart involves chamber B and chamber D. Now let's read the question. Select one of the following given options which is incorrect. And the very first option given is W is pulmonary artery. Yes, this is true. Originating from pulmonary heart, carrying deoxygenated blood to lungs. And as it is a correct statement, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question, because we have already discussed that deoxygenated blood from chamber C is pumped through pulmonary artery to reach lungs. The next option given is Y is vena cava. And yes, this is true. That carries deoxygenated blood from various systems of the body to right auricle. And as it is also a correct statement, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question, because this is vena cava, which carries deoxygenated blood from systems of the body to chamber A or right auricle of human heart. The next option given is chambers A and C of heart are considered as pulmonary heart, and chambers B and D are considered as systemic heart. And as it is also a correct statement, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question, because pulmonary heart includes chamber A and C, whereas systemic heart involves chamber B and D. The last option given is pulmonary circulation involves chambers A and D. No, this is wrong. while systemic circulation involves chamber B and C. And as it is an incorrect statement, so this is a correct answer to our question. Because pulmonary circulation involves chamber C and B, whereas systemic circulation involves chamber D and A. So the correct answer to this question is option number 4. Let's discuss our next question.